What is going on, y'all? It's the Degen podcast. I hope everyone has had a good week since we were last here with our unfortunately shortened episode that came out this past Sunday.
Sorry.
We are back on our regular schedule this Friday night, Spooky Friday the 13th, with a regular length episode and plenty of things to talk about, and I think we're all very happy to be back. I am Rob, still, as far as I'm aware.
Are you now?
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hello.
I am Dustin, and now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Sorry, I'm Jax. I was muted.
Jax, you're muted.
Yeah,
I'm Dave, and I'm not muted.
And I'm Matt.
Apologize.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys.
Was Matt muted?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
Did you mute him?
No.
Okay. Can everyone hear everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, I can. I can hear him. I was just checking.
All right.
And just for the viewers out there, can you guys? Oh, I guess they wouldn't be able to hear us if they couldn't hear us.
All right.
Big.
Can someone check?
brain.
Can't hear me.
Yeah.
Let us
yes.
know.
We're good. We're good.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
All right.
I
Yep.
certainly hope so.
All right.
I certainly hope we're good.
Just before we start, it has been brought to my attention that there are a couple fakers
Oh
out
my
there
God.
on YouTube.
Some fakers.
I'm not gonna name them, but you could probably guess if they're fakers that they would have a similar name. So, yeah, look out for
It's
them.
fine.
They're not the real ones.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
among us.
we don't really
like-
care, but
we are
we realized like
seniors.
a week or two ago that there was another podcast popped up with a similar name. But if you're watching, just so you know, no affiliation. Anyway, on to some of the stuff we want to talk about tonight. Something I wanted to talk about last week we didn't get to cover in that shortened episode is Right Stuff Anime, the long-time, like 30-ish year vendor of anime and manga merchandise. I think primarily to Western audiences, so like North America. They recently finished their merger with Crunchyroll. I don't remember how long that merger had been going on. I think several months, maybe a year or so. And through that merger, Right Stuff Anime was still maintaining their own like services and their own like website store page and whatever. And I've only known about them for a couple years, but I really enjoyed the service. I mean, they had honestly an unbelievable range of products, from like keychains, figures, other little trinkets and things, and just an enormous selection of manga, as well as like Blu-rays and DVDs and that sort of thing. And I wanted to talk about it last week because that would have put this news before Right Stuff's final day, before merging their store with Crunchyroll's. But unfortunately, the audio issues we had made it so that didn't happen. The last day was October 10th, which is unfortunate.
Yep.
But I still wanted to mention it. I think it's fairly newsworthy if you're in the anime or manga space, in the sort of Western audience. But on the bright side of that, from what I've seen online, Crunchyroll will be maintaining the lower pricing that Right Stuff Anime had on their manga. If you compare Right Stuff to a lot of other booksellers like Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, there was usually like I think like a $1 to $3 difference, like Right Stuff being a bit cheaper than those other places, which was one of the big draws for me shopping there, was getting to get a bunch of manga at a lower price. I'm not saving a ton of money, but it all adds up. So it's nice that Crunchyroll is going to keep that the low prices for at least the things that are coming into their store from this merger. I don't know how much the pricings and policies are going to change, but I guess that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
I was very lucky to order something literally 3 hours before they closed down. So I'm still waiting on that, but it should be here. It said within 14 days, so whatever. But
I'm surprised it would like go through.
well, it's just
No,
merging
yeah,
into the
they-
Crunchyroll store, and Crunchyroll already
Yeah.
owned it, so
Yeah.
it'll be
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I had an account on Right Stuff Anime, I got an email from them giving some information. And one piece of information they gave. The Crunchyroll store will feature our same low pricing on manga and home video products, and your Right Stuff open orders and pre-orders will still be processed by Right Stuff. So I don't know how long of a period of time they're looking at, if they're talking about all the pre-orders that they have, because if you're into buying figures, you may know that you can pre-order figures a pretty long time in advance. I didn't personally realize how far in advance you could order figures until I was looking at Right Stuff's website, and I'm seeing that there's figures that do not come out until like a year from now, like fall of 2024, and I'm like, oh my god.
Does
like,
it come with the pre-order bonus?
I have no idea. I'm sure there are some figures like that have a pre-order bonus, but I'm always very surprised at people being able to pre-order something like that for such a long period of time, like those figures or like mechanical keyboards. Because a lot of the time when you're buying mechanical keyboards, you're part of a group buy, or the order is just set to take a really long time to process. I've seen people post online about getting keyboards that they bought more than a year or 2 years prior, and it's like, did you even remember you bought that?
Yeah, at that point it would be like just like a gift in the mail.
Like, I can't even imagine like caring about some item so much that I could buy it and then in a year or 2 years get and be like, yeah, the thing
Finally.
came. But it's like when I buy something, it's like I'm like, I
Instant
pay for it,
gratification.
it ships, and it's
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm done. It's gonna be here soon, and I'm gonna be glad that I have it. I can't imagine 1 year, 2 years getting in being like, oh yeah, like it's like I'm so far removed from the act of looking at it and like comparing it or deciding to buy it and buying it,
It's like
and like seeing the
you're
tracking
married,
information come up and da 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 da.
you're married with kids, and your wife is like, "Honey, why is there a succubus Rem statue at the door?"
He's
Like a
sweating.
5'1" or something.
God.
He's
Yeah,
sweating.
why is there a life size?
Oh my god, a life-sized one?
Why is there a life size succubus at the door?
I'm just thinking of the SpongeBob when he's like licking the poster at the end of the training video going
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My wife said that to me, I'd be like, "Honey, how do you know what a succubus is?"
I mean,
I know who
mean,
Rem is.
Succubus is just the
religious
thing.
stuff, right? Damn religious material.
I
Mm.
think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. My religion's
know.
anime, so
God.
So let's see. We were on the Right Stuff site, a few of us like a week or two ago, and we were looking at a bunch of figures that were on there, and we were kind of just trying to find like the most expensive ones that we could
Oh
find.
yeah.
And I think the most expensive one that I found was on the order of like $500 or $600, and I was like, that's kind of a lot for a figure. And then it was like late at night, and it was a work night, so I had to hit the hay. And then like 20 minutes later, Rob texted me with his one-upsman, well, like 5-upsmanship. like what was the most expensive one you found?
2000.
And what was it? Was it like some Eva shit?
yeah.
It was
probably Evangelion.
well, that one was the most expensive one I found first.
That's
It
good.
was 1400. It was a Neon Genesis Evangelion. There's an Asuka one and a Rei one. Each of them was 1400. And then like a couple days later, I was still looking and I found Toru from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and it was
Yep.
$2,000.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
big dragon.
I mean, it's not. It's humanoid form. I'll send a
Big dragon.
picture.
Yeah, big dragon.
It's
Oh.
not even a dragon. It's not even big. I don't
Oh.
remember how big,
Wait,
but it wasn't
what's the-
like
what's the
picture of
big dragon?
Kaido,
It's
his reaction.
Quetzalcoatl, right? Yeah.
it was not an exceptionally large figure, however big it
Yeah.
was.
I remember there was one figure that I saw on there. I'm forgetting what it was. Maybe you guys remember, but I saw the price of it, and I was like, "Yo, this is just like $100 or something, or like $110." And we were like, "This looks really good for being $100." And it's like, "Oh no, that's the down payment."
I don't remember.
Or that's like what you would pay per month or something.
Mm,
You're like the
for it. And I was
protagonist
like,
from
"Okay,
Chaos Head. That guy with all the figurines. Oh my god.
yeah, that guy."
Rip that game.
Yeah.
We need to finish. For context, we started a playthrough of that game that and we kind of just stopped doing it, and we do need to finish it. But whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we want to move on.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Should we talk about the anime this season, or
no,
Nah, who
let's
likes
do it.
who loves getting scammed?
okay, go for it, Jax.
Jax
Alright.
likes getting scammed. He's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even my fault, but apparently
Surely.
you get those emails and mails about getting scammed, and like, or like you get the credit card or card just doesn't work.
Hi, I'm your
I mean-
Nigerian uncle.
Literally a phishing scheme.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, I got an physical mail saying my information got leaked from this previous company I worked at. So they have all my social securities and like other important stuff for a job. And luckily I have fraud protection and stuff. But like,
Can you see the
I
company?
mean, like, I mean, sure, I guess. Medical device, Exactech. They had
Putting them on blast.
they had a data leaks. So I mean, if they can't control the stuff, I'm gonna point it out.
For sure, yeah.
Valid.
So anyone who has recently worked or
If you were a loved
previously
one, Logan,
worked,
You've been diagnosed with
Or a loved one has
information.
been diagnosed with mesothelioma.
glioma,
so yeah.
moderate to severe plaque psoriasis.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
just thought of scams because I think of the right stuff as kind of another site like Alibaba and that kind of thing in a sense, but
Well,
that's
speaking
what
of
I thought of it.
scams, two pretty big influencer scammers are gonna duke it out fisticuff style
Oh,
in a boxing match. It's so
great.
dumb. It's Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis.
I don't know who the second
this-
guy is.
I still don't know who the second guy is. I've only heard about
I
him in
don't
the
know who
context
he
of
is
news.
either.
I
Wait,
do
is
not
that the guy who
genuinely know
is
who he
stuttering?
is.
I know him from the CoffeeZilla video on him where he
Ah.
he
I'm pretty
pretty
sure
much
he-
went through and made a fake website. He did a fake
Yeah.
scam with him where he asked Dylan Dennis to promote his crypto under another name, and then Dylan Dennis promoted it, and they changed the website right after he promoted it to a website showing all of his scams.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
It was
Wait.
great.
So
funny.
I'm pretty sure Dylan Dennis was or is like an actual fighter. Like that is what he does. And for like a few months or a few years, I don't know how long, he was involved in all these crypto scams where he would just pump and dump. And it's a real shitty thing to do. And for those of you who don't know, there's a YouTuber called CoffeeZilla. He does like exposés on people that run like financial scams, mainly in the crypto space. And like Matt just said, he did a piece on Dylan Dennis, and he's done a series on your boy Logan Paul because he's such a straightforward individual. Never done anything wrong. And
But yeah, this fight
so
has
what's
to be the cringiest thing.
So
that
what's
I've
going
ever
on
seen.
now is these two who are sort of going at each other's throats, calling each other scammers, and then they're making it this thing where they're just gonna fight it out because why the fuck not? Because when words don't work, you just punch each other because that's how
Well,
their brains
it's not
work.
even. It's totally fake though. It's like
Yeah.
there's no way they're actually mad about it, and it's such a stupid concept because they're just outing each other. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck are they doing?
Honestly,
It's like, oh, you scammed your audience, and then it's like, well, I don't really have a way to defend myself because you're right, but I'll just tell them that you scammed your audience harder.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the best thing is that Coffee, when he was like talking about them, he was saying that they were using the evidence that Coffee gathered in his exposés about them against each other. Like Logan would be like, "Yo, Dylan, Coffee said this shit about you," and Dylan's like, "Yeah, well, he said this shit about you. What are you gonna say to that?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about the stuff he said about you." Like,
It's so dumb. It's
really
so dumb.
fucking entertaining, but
Yeah.
it's just a travesty that it's come to this.
Mhm.
yeah, we should scam them by not watching the fight.
Just pirate it. I
I
mean,
don't,
what?
think, I don't think I've ever watched like a single influencer fight.
Nope.
It's
I
just
have,
such
but
a
I've
weird
never
concept.
paid
The-
for
the
it.
only- yeah, the only people that win are them because they get money.
True.
Yep.
all I know about Dylan Dennis is he was stuttering when they were like talking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He couldn't win
That's
the
the only
rap
thing.
battle.
Yeah, that's the only
Someone let me
thing I
know.
remember about him.
But I mean, the whole thing where Coffee made Dylan expose himself, that was
That
Uh,
was
like
such a good video.
that was like one of the best things I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Out of
It's
context.
so good.
The whole idea of him having him post it on his own social media,
Mhm.
and then you go to the link, and it's just a total expose of like 20 scams that Dylan Dennis has done. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's so cool.
Another thing with that is that so when Coffee's representative reached out to Dylan to on Twitter or Instagram or whatever it was to be like, hey, I have this crypto coin. I'd like to have you talk about it, and we'll pay for a tweet or two. Of course, the first thing that Dylan inquires about is how much. Not like what's the coin like, what's the community like, what is the goal of this all. He's like, how much? And then, once that was all sorted away and they were starting to come to a close on the deal, um, Coffee's representative sends over like their mission statement or something, and it it reads like a nonsensical, like we're here for the good of crypto and for people to be rich and all this stuff. Like, not like it didn't make anything. It was literally gibberish.
Didn't
And
they didn't they like mention that? Didn't wait? What didn't the first letters
yes,
of
that's
like
what
the
I'm getting to.
sentences?
Yes.
Okay.
The in it's totally nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. That's the definition of nonsensical. But if you were to just look at the first letter of each word in their mission statement, of their proposed mission statement, it just spells out CoffeeZilla. And Dylan knows of CoffeeZilla, and if he knew that this was attached to coffee in any way, like he would like run the other way, because this shit happens around coffee because he's just brilliant. But it was a sight to behold to see how
Mhm.
greedy and just like honestly stupid someone could be.
It's
Yeah.
not even just that. It's the no due diligence done, right? He doesn't care about anybody who like any of his fans. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. All he cares about is the next paycheck for doing another scam. It's just
Hmm.
it's sad to see that.
Yep.
Do you think he like goes in his room? He's like, "Oh yeah, I scammed so hard today." Like, like you
Yes,
think
I
he
think
gets
that's
off on
exactly what he
scamming
does.
people?
I mean, I feel like when you do shit like that, you like you do such intense mental gymnastics. It's not
Hmm.
scamming to you. Like it's just business. And
Mm-hmm.
not in like the like I mean kind of in like the like cold-hearted businessman way of like sorry kid, it's just business kind of thing.
Well, every time somebody comes back at these people, they always fall on the same thing. You shouldn't you shouldn't have gone through a risky you shouldn't have invested in something risky or
I
something
mean,
along
yeah.
those lines. It's just like
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
mean,
feel like that's
you're
how a
not
lot of
wrong, but also
entrepreneur
just
types are. It's like
that's
Like,
so dumb.
when the risk works out for me, I am, so smart. I'm such a competent and talented business person. But when it doesn't go their way, it's like, oh, poor me. I did everything right. It was such a calculated risk. Look at what happened to me.
yes, there is blame that falls on the victims a bit. Like
Hmm.
they shouldn't be listening to people that have no
Influencers.
business giving financial advice or offering these sort of things. But at the same time, like there shouldn't even be an opportunity to do something as bad as this. It's like the act of making a scam doesn't absolve you if people actually take you seriously. Like
And
it was
the
your
saddest thing
intention. Yeah.
The saddest thing is that, I mean, because there's not really many laws around crypto and all and that whole space yet, it's just anarchy over there. There's like, yes, it's fraud, but there's really almost no way to catch these people in a lot of times.
Yeah, because the government hasn't caught up with the idea that financial crimes can be done as like simply as this, because
Mm-hmm.
it's really like if you have a large audience, it's really easy to do something like this.
Yep.
Especially if the audience is
Bro.
kids.
Bro,
mean,
motherfuckers
kids
in the
don't have
government
thousands of
still don't
dollars to-
understand how the internet works.
Yeah.
They're like, does the app access my data? It's like, if you use it.
Yes, sir.
It's like, does it connect to my house? It's like, if you're using
It could.
the internet in your house, yes. It's like, why? It's like,
Information, money.
that's how the
Magic.
app works.
Money.
It needs to connect to the internet. If you connect it to the internet in your house, in some sense, it's connected to your house. Well, I don't like it. You don't have to use the app then. Yes, I do. Look at how popular, whatever, you know.
Man,
Like,
is every
of course
government
of course
official
it's not going to be addressed by a bunch
Southern
of
hick?
Yes.
I think he's talking about the layman.
That's just my default stupid politician voice.
Default Andy.
You're right.
But like, it's like, no shit, these things are not going to get resolved with the absolute fucking lead paint licking morons we have in Congress. Half of them probably have lead poisoning given their advanced age.
Yeah.
And some of them are literally just dying on the clock because they're so old.
Yeah. We're getting
We're getting into politics.
fired.
We're getting what?
We're getting fired.
Yeah, we're getting fired.
Bro, some of them can't even get fired properly, as we've seen. So, all right, let's move on. What's next, Rob?
Oh, we could
Why
talk about the
me?
merger.
What?
Let's talk about the
Yeah, that's
so as of today, Friday the 13th. I don't know if that's a bad omen. Microsoft has purchased Activision Blizzard.
Been a long time
and
coming.
King.
What? What?
So, I mean, I think it's too early to tell whether this is good or bad news. I think merging companies and somebody getting more control over an industry is always a bad thing because with control comes greed. But even so, it's pretty hard to get as greedy as Activision was in general. We'll have to see where it goes in like the coming years, but as for CEO of Activision, Bobby Kotick, he will be out as of January 1st, 2024.
Bye,
So-
Bobby.
See you later, Bobby.
Damn,
Yeah,
Bobby.
it's gonna be a pretty big shift in gaming. I think there's gonna be a lot of interesting things that come over the next few years because of this. I believe.
Everything's gonna cost more.
World of Warcraft 2.
God, no, please.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a problem of replace all the executives with better people, and I think you'd be fine if you keep the same devs. But I don't know.
nah, bro. The Overwatch devs can
I mean,
fuck
a
off.
lot of the devs aren't
Yeah,
know,
they're
the same devs either. There's a lot of like the devs have been in this, cycle of not that great content for so long. It's hard for I mean, especially devs in those companies to to branch out,
yeah.
what they've done.
People just need to know when to close down their studio. I think
mean-
the Reaper's on Blizzard's door.
I remember gosh, it was the creator of Fallout. I don't know if y'all watched that video. He made a video recently about game developers now, like nowadays, and he talked about his experience with creating Fallout and how towards the end of development they'd have like a whiteboard with like a list of things that they need to have done before completion, and then the 10 most egregious bugs in the game. They'd assign names to who would be working on these things. But apparently, like years later, years down the line, he tried doing the same thing for another game release, and instantly people said, "No, I'll quit." No, absolutely not. And it's like, why? And it's because they'll have their name on it. And it's like nobody wants to take accountability for their own work. It's absolutely absurd.
I mean, they don't want to run the risk of having their name on something that fails, because then they probably won't be
Well, then have more confidence or be a better developer. It's your job.
true. But with the state of games now releasing, they're all kind of just unfinished or just bad, just bad.
Yeah, so what's the risk of having your name on it if it's trash anyway? I don't get it. I really don't. But
Because
I
then
mean,
they
I just
can't
found
be
that
recruited for
video
other
pretty
jobs.
interesting. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this will bring about some good changes for gaming. Microsoft has been doing some interesting things recently. So I guess we'll just have to see where it goes.
Yep. Yep.
So before the merger, they have 23 like sub companies, game companies. And now with the merger, they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 more. If we're talking about like individual studios.
God damn.
So.
A lot of companies that take over.
Yep.
I see nothing wrong here.
Yep. And now Crash is
I
gonna...
feel like we're gonna find a rise of. I mean, it's already sort of started to happen, but we're gonna see a very large rise in indie developers because so much of the game space is monopolized by a few companies now. Like the big AAA game space is monopolized by just a few companies.
What do you think was like the last good triple A game besides Baldur's Gate 3?
I was waiting for the sub Baldur's Gate.
The last good AAA game.
I mean, was Elden Ring AAA?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
For sure.
I liked Elden Ring.
But that came out how many years ago now? Was that
2, I think?
A year,
2?
wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was the beginning of 22, right?
Yeah, it was the very beginning of
the very end of
2022.
21.
And
It
we're
was game of the year. It was game of the year last year. So
Yeah.
We're in the second
February.
great Halloween now, waiting for the DLC to come out that was announced a while ago. People were going insane on the subreddit before the game came out. Like Glaive Master Hodeer and a bunch of other shit, and now people are hollowing again on the subreddit and going insane waiting for the DLC. So yeah. Oh, also I want to point out Call of Duty was we had Call of Duty, right? And that was like an Xbox like thing where they got stuff first, and then it went to PlayStation, and now it's back to Xbox. Crash Bandicoot has now switched from Sony to Xbox, which is insane to think about. And Spyro. So that's just insane. They're switching sides.
I remember playing Spyro on the Wii.
Well, what the fuck? What Spyro did you play? Year of the Dragon?
I don't know.
Year of the Dragon. I don't even know if that was on.
Yeah, it's the one where like they have those
Skylanders.
Oh,
Yeah.
Skylanders? Well, that's not really a Spyro game. That's not even a Spyro.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it had like the boy there.
Yeah, I mean, it also had Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, that's still Spyro.
Yeah, weird design though in those games. I never played it though. I never played any Skylanders stuff.
It's interesting because like you had that platform and you actually would only got the
put your
character
boy
when
on
you
it.
yeah when you put him on.
Oh yeah, microtransactions, but in real life, woo!
That really is like
It really was.
pay for the next character.
Yeah, it's their
except
game
like
pass.
except like you get like a physical thing that you can like put on a shelf or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a
Collectible
toy.
figurines.
It's like a toy in a Happy Meal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you
That
guys
was a
have
good
any
game.
any good Happy Meal toys you remember?
I think I still have this like Spider-Man one with like the
Of
movable
course.
arms and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a Spider-Man 2 or 3 toy.
I always had fun with those like shitty video games they give you with the Happy Meals. You know, like they give you like a like baseball game that you just it had like 2 buttons.
Oh, like the Game and
yeah.
Watch-esque stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
the like small like
exactly.
control
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those
Those
pretty
are always
cool.
fun.
We'd get McDonald's like after school. My mom, my sister, and I, and my sister and me would get Happy Meals, and then we'd always see which toy we got. And like 9 times out of 10, for some reason, I would always get the girl toy, and she would always get the boy toy. And we're like, "Give me that."
You'd get the boy toy, huh?
Shut up.
Hey yo.
Yeah, I remember what in elementary school, my grandma, grandma that my mom doesn't like anymore. She would every day I'd have to go over and she'd pick me up. She'd just give me a large fry every day.
Single fry.
So I had
Just one large fry.
Yeah.
yeah
McDonald's
Just a
fries are
large
great
fry.
though. So
every
hey,
day.
I think Checkers
It was
is
great.
better, to be honest, but
Checkers is hit or miss though, because like sometimes it's like super greasy.
well, I mean McDonald's can be like that because they just like limp dick after like 2 seconds. So
I like the limp.
That
dick
is
fries.
no, I don't like the limp dick.
I
You don't like the
really
soft fries? I like the soft
Bro,
fries.
I like my
Now, let me tell
fries big and hard. Okay.
what are the
What
shittiest
about
fries y'all have ever
crunchy?
had?
Shittiest.
Shittiest fries.
Sonic
Steak and Shake.
and Steak and Shake. Yeah.
Easy
Nah,
answer.
Steak Shake is good. What do you
I
talking
feel
No,
like
they're
Those things
not.
are little,
You
like,
are, you are
thin-
crazy.
The one time
thin
I
little
ate steak and shake,
toothpicks.
I'm like, wow, this sucks.
Okay, but you have to get
What?
the Frisco melt from Steak and Shake
Dude,
Express.
Frisco melt.
Me and
yes.
Jax used to go like
Oh, yeah.
every was it Thursday or
Every
Friday?
Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah,
Every,
we'd go
no,
after
no,
our
every Thursday.
Thursday after Calc 2 before D&D.
Yep.
We'd go there
Yep.
and then longboard from there. That was a life. Although I hated fucking Calc 2, but it was worth it afterwards.
But yeah, Steak and Shake fries suck. They're so
Yeah, no,
bad.
not great.
Ah, dude, I love them.
Dust, Jax, how did we not have the same Calc 2 class? Or how was I not in the same one as?
I don't know.
Took it at a different.
Because I remember being in Calc 2 by myself, like as in like without either.
Weren't you in FAU during Calc 2?
I took
Didn't you take
no,
it
I
during
took-
FAU?
at FAU. I took Calc 3 and Physics 2.
Oh.
Oh.
Did we take
yeah.
it at
I
a
don't
different
know.
year? I don't think so.
No, we
We
were
took
like
it
in love with
sophomore.
each other.
Maybe.
I don't know why.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand.
But anyway, fries. Worst fries
Mhm.
from like a fast food place.
I should have specified, yeah, from a fast food
From a
place.
fast
Yes.
food place.
I mean, I felt like it was implied,
I
but
don't really know.
I don't really
Actually,
know
the-
either.
The fries that I actually, it's not from a fast food place. Fries that I didn't mind and actually kind of liked, maybe just because in comparison to everything else they had was shit. But public school lunch, the fries that they had were not
That's not-
bad.
Well,
They
yeah,
were
they're
not bad.
Yeah.
And I look forward to having them just because like having fries at lunch.
It's better than eating
Did you-
cardboard with tomato
Yeah,
sauce
did
and
you-
cheese on
Yeah.
top.
Did you ever
Mm,
get those like
cardboard.
French toast sticks? Those were the shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those were the
yeah.
shit.
My school tried making sushi once.
Oh
What?
no!
I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Wait, did you wait? Was it like pre-pack? It must have been pre-packaged.
Ugh,
Yeah, it
I
was.
feel like
it was still really
would have
bad
been
though.
better.
bro,
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I
No,
think
no, no.
food at a
I'm saying
prison's better.
I was hoping that you didn't have like some like some lunch lady, like the stereotypical lunch lady there with like slicing up sashimi.
Just rolling up the crab roll in front of you.
Yeah. Oh my. You want some wasabi, darling?
I want
You want some extra ginger?
Oh my
No,
god.
I'd say Burger King fries.
Konnichiwa.
Ooh.
That's why.
Sumimasen.
Arigato goes.
All right. This is not one of the topics. This cringe Japanese, please. This is not a segment.
Cringinese.
Actually,
Bro, you gotta clean your knees, man. People gotta clean their
What?
knees and elbows. They don't do that shit. Have you ever cleaned the back of your ear? There's people
Where
that
did this come from?
not really. I mean,
Where did this-
sometimes because I
What?
wear earrings.
Huh?
I mean, sometimes, yeah, just
What?
washing your
I mean-
face, and that just happens.
Matt.
It's like,
I don't know what's going on.
Matt,
Like-
did you and I like go to a different plane of existence for a
I
second?
feel like
I-
I'm in
and
a
then come
fever
back.
dream.
You're in a few, bro. I was suddenly getting blasted with this butchered ass Japanese out of nowhere.
You're the one who came up with the fucking lunch lady example. Don't come at us.
I didn't say shit.
that was
I
Dave.
did
That was
not
Dave.
start with the
Oh, that was Dave.
That was
Never
Dave.
mind.
he already forgot.
Don't be falsely accusing me. I was just like, wow, I am
Gaslighting.
sorry you had to.
Yeah, I'll gaslight you
You
into
had to
being the
deal
one who
with
did it.
that.
Don't worry.
I've been gaslighting you guys this whole time.
Are we not recording?
I was gonna say, doesn't want to be like we're not live.
Yeah, you had to think about it.
I've been gaslighting you guys for 40 minutes.
I set up a fake YouTube channel. I paid all these bots to.
Oh,
No, it has
Never
been
again.
bots.
I have an
Shit.
auto clicker that automatically refreshes the YouTube page every 30 seconds because that is the minimum amount of
No.
time you need to get a view.
He
Oh,
also
who
made the
knows?
Gaming Degen Z podcast, so
Yeah,
we'd feel
it was
like
a
we're like,
topic.
ooh,
to talk
someone's got the
about.
same name.
So we'd have one topic to talk about for 2 minutes at the beginning of this episode.
Yes.
All right.
You know, speaking of gaslighting, I want to talk about something we have here. The
Oh, yeah.
worst or funniest misunderstanding of your life.
Oh, please,
I
I
please
don't
start
even
us
know
off,
what this
sir.
would be.
I have a funny one that happened literally today.
Run it.
All
So
right, shoot.
I was in between working hours. I was having a little like lunch break, and I'm in my administrator's room, and I'm just eating like chips and I was like on my phone or whatever. And then she turns to me, she's like, "All right, I gotta go help someone." And she says, I'm gonna have to let you go. And I'm just like, I turned around and like looked at her like, what? Because that means I gotta fire you. And I'm like, huh? And she's like, oh wait, I didn't mean to say that. I meant I have to go. I'm gonna leave you alone. Oh. But it was like the look I
I'm
gave
gonna
her. I
let
just
you
turned the chair
go.
completely 180 degrees and just like looked at her like,
I
bruh.
just
literally
imagine you
just
looking like this Kaido reaction.
Yeah.
You're just like, huh? I mean, that would be me as
I mean,
well.
I got the
where I'd be like,
context, but I turned around
huh?
anyway
Yeah,
for the joke.
you start immediately thinking back like, shit, what did I do? I must have done something just now. What? Fuck.
I mean, it was just such a
Yeah,
normal
I
conversation.
can't think of one. I really can't. I can't think of one.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's the worst, but just Dustin talking about that, it's making one come to mind where I was at work at the place I currently work at, and at this time I had been there for like a couple months, I want to say, like maybe 2 months ish. I don't know, 2 or 3 months, something like that. And now I've been there for 7 months. So I was just chilling. It was like the middle of my shift, towards the end of my shift. I probably had a couple hours left on the day. And I look at my phone, I see I have an email notification. And most of the emails I get, I don't get a notification. So usually when I have one that has like a notification on the top, I look at it. And so I look at my phone and I see an email from HR. I'm like, why do I have an email from HR? I haven't talked to HR. HR has not talked to me. Why do I have an email from HR? And it's like, just immediately I was like, I don't like that I have an email from HR. And I don't remember what the I honestly want to find it. What the email said, like at the start of it, that made me think like, ugh, that's not a good email. Like it was the kind of like what Dustin was saying, where the person told them like, oh, I have to let you go. It's like, huh? Let me see. I think I should be able to find it here. Where is it? Had to be after that, I guess. Here it is. Yeah, the first thing just says, "Thank you for being a part of the blah blah blah," like the organization family, and it's like, why? And then the first line, because it's got like a PDF letter, the first line, "Thank you. We appreciate the hard work that you do despite the obstacles and challenges that have crossed our paths." And it's like, okay. But it was just a raise, like an 8% pay raise. And I'm like, cool. We like those. Thank you.
Does that adjust for inflation?
I don't know if it was adjusted for inflation, but it was 8%. It was like I just had it pulled up. I should have looked at it, but it was like I think around $1 an hour. Let me see. Where'd it go? Come back.
Inflation is 3.7%.
I swear it was on this page. Where? Why can't you read?
Because
I'm flipping over the hourglass.
I'm just gonna look up this person because she has not sent me that many emails.
All right.
well,
Never mind.
something I can think about.
Whatever.
I think I've already told
It
you
was
guys
like $1.
this, but it's when I used to be a counselor at a summer camp, and I was in like 8th grade or 9th grade or something. I was really young, and they had me in charge of the like 5 and 6-year-olds because like to them I'm like a big kid, but like to the other kids I'm like just a little bit older than them. But throughout like most of the summer, most of the other counselors were like high school age or college age. So they're older than me, and they're used to working with people my age that are like a lot less mature than I guess I was when I was that age, and a lot less polite than I was at that age. And they took the combination of me being relatively polite for my age and I guess my mannerisms at the time for me being gay.
I don't think I've heard this
Wait,
story
what?
before.
My superiors at the summer camp thought I was gay because I was polite for my age and my mannerisms.
Yeah, I was just told that
Now,
last week. So
now I don't think I've changed my mannerisms have changed much since I was whatever age I was, 14, 15. But y'all, Do I have gay mannerisms?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But like,
As the resident
as the resident,
queer,
it's
you
like,
do
hey,
not,
Rob, you would know.
you
Am
do
I-
not strike my gaydar.
Your gaydar. I don't.
No,
I don't use your
I
gaydar.
feel that I have a very competent gaydar.
Mm. Has your gaydar ever malfunctioned?
I'm
Or
sure
did
it
it just
has.
not go off when it was supposed to?
I mean, I think there's definitely. I feel like it's the kind of thing where where I've gone over people. Like, I haven't realized someone was like queer and they were,
Hmm.
but I don't think I've ever clocked someone as being queer and they weren't.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I can think of where I thought somebody was not straight, they were not.
Yeah, I think in the same boat here. Mine is pretty accurate as well.
And I mean, there's always ones where it's like a slam dunk, where I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not even wondering. Like,
Yeah. I mean, with some, it's just like very obvious.
yeah, I'm just like, I know.
Yeah, I know we
I d-
have we have a friend who's also gay, but that was the one time I glossed over it until he just said it, and I was like, all right, whatever. But he has mostly just guy friends and stuff, so and you're used to like the kid in high school who was, gay usually had a lot of friends with girls. That was just how it was when I was in high school. So,
Hmm.
yeah, but
Until you realize they were faking being gay so they can get
yeah,
invited to the sleepover.
the ultimate long con.
Oh yeah.
Take some serious effort.
and then they get pegged and they fucking die.
And
Wait, what?
And then they
Die.
realize that they
That's
liked
pretty
it.
extreme.
They realize they liked it.
Yeah, oh no. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Beware the pipeline.
Jax, do you have a funny I guess a funny misunderstanding in your life?
I don't remember any because I never really was like too talkative, I guess, in high school.
Yeah.
And then college, I kind of wasn't as talkative either. And then
Mhm.
middle school, I don't remember. Elementary school, we're all stupid, so can't really do anything about that.
True.
We were in fact stupid.
I will attest to Jackson not being talkative because the way I met Jax was in our Calc 1 class. He didn't talk all year until the last day when I invited him
Yeah.
to lunch with me and my other friend, and he came, and that was the first time I heard him talk all year. So
Yeah, dude, because all of Math 1, I was just like, Mr. Marino.
yes, yeah.
Yes! Yep.
Oh yeah, for context, we had a teacher, Mr. Molina, and oh my God, he would come into class every day. He'd wear like a good old days NES controller shirt, and then he'd have like
T-shirt.
t-shirt, and then he'd have like a hat on as well.
Sport shorts.
Yeah, with sports shorts. I don't know, for some reason the picture in my mind has him wearing like the sport helmet with like the water bottles strapped to the side, but he did not wear that at all. I don't know why. But yeah, whenever everyone was quiet in that class, whenever
Yeah,
someone
no one would answer
one would
any
talk.
question he...
So I tried a couple times, and when when someone in the class would get it right, he'd go, yes, yeah, exactly like that. Yes,
Bro,
yeah.
your mic cut out when you did it.
When you get too excited, your mic doesn't pick you up at all. I can hear you loud and clear in real life. We're not hearing any
Wait,
of it.
let me lower this. Now you can't really hear me, but
No, we can't.
We can
No,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
No, we didn't hear that. We didn't hear
It's
that.
still,
We still
it
can't hear
doesn't
that.
work.
bruh. Well, I think they heard it on the stream because I lowered it on the stream and not on.
As long as they
Yeah.
hear it on this.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna click
I think
off
that's all
at this
that
point.
matters.
Here, can I like wait, let me get up. Let me get.
Across the room.
I'm
Yes.
not sure if you can hear this.
Wait, guys, just gaslight him.
No,
Tell him that we
it's-
can't hear him no matter what. No matter what.
Could you hear that?
We can't
No,
can't hear you,
we
man.
did not
hear
I
that.
think you need to do it again.
No. All right, I'll stop. Anyway, yeah. That's what would happen.
Yeah. And then I had him with Dustin for linear algebra, and I got to experience the beauty that is the Molina. Yes.
And
yes.
that was awesome because I remember I told you when we found out we had linear algebra with him. I told him like the day before,
Yeah.
or as we're walking, I'm like, Dave, you're gonna love this guy. If you get something right. He goes, yeah, or whatever. And he's
Still
like,
didn't
he was
do
like,
that.
shut up. You're lying to me. Like, there's no way that you're gaslighting me. And then we get in. He does it. Like, he doesn't do it the first day. But the second day we have him, he does it. And I just look at him and he just looks at me. And we just fucking, like, almost die.
Uh-huh.
Shakes his head in disappointment.
Because like I have this idea of a college professor being, a little bit professional, and then that kind of
Nah.
got thrown out of the window with my Calc 2 professor. He would show up every day wearing like a Hawaiian shirt and shorts and sandals. And you know what? I'm seeing a pattern now. My Calc 2 teacher was like that. My Calc 3 teacher at FAU also wore Hawaiian shirt, cargo pants, and sandals like Luffy sandals. And he was this bald French dude who had a real thick accent. And it was just like, imagine you go on a trip with your family to Hawaii and you just go to the beach and you want to chill. And then there's just a bald French dude over there just talking about 3D calculus
Yep.
over there.
What?
Didn't Mr.
That's
Niger
what-
also dress like that?
No.
No?
Mr. Niger? No. No, he
Am I
always
crazy?
no, he dressed perfectly professionally.
Really? I thought he always had a Hawaiian shirt.
No.
Maybe it was just a short sleeve button up.
I mean, yes, that is what he wore.
I guess I'm
I'm
just
I'm trying to think
imagining
who you might be
the
thinking
Hawaiian
of.
print, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is a weird thing with like math teachers because just STEM teachers in general, because Jackson and I's Calc 2 professor was a balding Australian man that wore a Hawaiian shirt, right? And then
Yeah.
and then
Bald Australian.
and then he had a very hard accent. And then Dave, you and
Opie cow.
yeah, you and mine our what was it? Our nuclear physics professor was also a
Oh, yeah.
bald. Was he Australian or was he British? He was he?
Wait, who?
The guy who
Or-
liked to ride bicycles and go mountain biking. For nuclear. You remember?
Wh- Wait, like to ride bicycles?
Yeah. The one we did the project for.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where he was from.
I think he was Australian.
Probably.
Yeah, but he was bald. So
Oh, I love that guy.
yeah, he was
That guy
really
cool.
nice, but it's just a pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, there he is. I found a picture of him.
The Australian dude.
I didn't
Yeah.
have that many STEM classes in college. Like, half the STEM teachers I can think of were women.
Really?
Yeah. Because my Gen Chem 1 teacher was or professor was a woman. My pre-calc professor was a man. My
You took pre-calc?
I did take pre-calc. I missed testing into calc in college by like one question.
Oof.
My computer science professor was a man, and my nutrition professor was a woman.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a pretty good distribution.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm trying to think again. I didn't take that many STEM classes because the STEM classes at my university are absolutely insane, psychopathic level difficulty. You have to be mentally ill to make it through those courses.
I might be completely like gaslighting myself, but for some reason I remember seeing an offering for like a medieval torturing course, like a history of medieval torturing or something like that. I think I
What the
could
fuck?
literally be gaslighting myself into believing that.
Was it taught by
I
a
think
mom?
you are.
But it was like history. I don't know. It's for like one of the gen eds or something. I don't know. One of those stupid requirement stuff that we needed.
Hmm.
Of course I didn't take it, but it was very. That's an interesting topic.
Yeah. Speaking of torture, some of the new shows coming out this season, boys. Matt, the most seasoned among us here, haha, sus. Why don't you inform us of what we have to look forward to and what we have not to look forward to?
So Rob's got the ones not to look forward to. To be completely honest, he's
Ah.
watched a lot of those really bad ones that he'll talk about in a little bit.
Mhm.
But as for really solid ones to watch out for this season, I'd say we're looking at Ragna Crimson,
Yeah.
very good show. Shangri-La Frontier,
Yeah.
also very good. Obviously, Freerin we've talked about a few times.
Yeah.
Moving on down the list, we've got
What was the first one you said?
Undead Unluck.
Yeah.
Ragna Crimson.
Ragna Crimson.
Yeah, Ragna Crimson.
Just watched that
Ragnar
today.
Crimson, okay.
It's good.
And Rob, you and I watched The Kingdoms of Ruin. I think a few of us watched that.
I did not watch the
I
Kingdom
watched
of Ruin.
that.
Yeah, I watched
You
I
it.
watched
gaslight
that,
me.
and Dave came home like right when they're in the middle of that scene, and I just clicked off because I'm like, I'm not. He's probably gonna knock my door and open it and see that scene. So I'm like,
And speaking
that's
of that
brutal.
scene, let's talk about Goblin Slayer hitting it off again by
Oh,
replaying
God,
the
yeah.
first episode scenes in the
No.
first episode of the new
No.
season.
No, no, no.
The fucking no.
I heard.
Yeah, I cannot believe they did that. That's unreal.
It's so great.
I
Can't
heard
believe they did that.
from like just anime forums and stuff that Ragna Crimson is like the Shadow the Hedgehog of anime, and it's
What does
on
that
maybe a
even
little
mean?
not as bad or just as bad as Redo of Healer was for the hentai space. So, great.
I
mean,
do
I-
not
Does that have to
understand
do
what
with
that
Sonic?
mean. What does that mean? Can
We?
can you translate that? I don't understand.
Yeah, basically it's just super fucking edgy bullshit, but not like funny edgy, just edgy for the sake of being edgy. And not like Eminence of Shadow edgy, just like serious edgy for no reason.
Like they're not parodying edginess. They're just obscenely edgy,
Yeah,
and they mean it.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
For
It's very much
the
like that.
Kingdoms of Ruin. Anyway.
But moving on from there, we have a
Did I
few
watch The
shows that
Kingdoms
are a
of
bit
Ruin?
interesting.
Where
Yeah, you
is
watched it with me. We
I
watched
did?
it together, Rob.
What the
I'm
fuck
not
was that one?
gaslighting you.
What
We
was
watched
that
it together.
one?
It's the one with the mage who
The
gets
elf
The
killed.
witch. The witch. Yeah.
The witch.
Oh.
The guy who escaped from the pod at the.
Oh, yeah, he's
That
not
show,
gaslighting me.
I'm just gonna go on a tear like.
What
like
were we
today
saying about that
and
show? That it was
tomorrow.
just.
Oh my god.
Is that the
It
one we were
was-
saying was excessively edgy or Ragna Crimson?
It's going to be excessively edgy. Yes, that show. Ruin.
I mean, it makes
Kingdoms
sense.
of Ruin.
It
Yes.
makes sense judging from the first episode. I can see that.
Mhm. Moving on from that one, though, we have a lot of sequels coming out this season. Some pretty good ones to look out for. If you enjoyed the first season of The Saints Magic Powers Omnipotent, the second season of that's coming out. I enjoyed the first season. It was a very chill show overall. We have Dead Mount Death Play Season 2. If y'all watched the first season earlier this year, the it's just as good as it was earlier. It's really good. Dr. Stone New World is back. First episode came out, I think, yesterday. It was incredible. It's continuing where season 3 left off a few months back, and it is so good. I have been enjoying Dr. Stone a lot. Eminence and Shadows back. Goblin Slayer, as I said earlier. Shield Hero is back. Spy Family's back.
Oh
We
yeah,
got a lot of stuff to watch this season.
we're kind of
Uh,
stacked. with some of
Yeah,
the
it's
stuff.
a pretty good season. But you know what's missing this season, which is kind of a breath of fresh air? Isekai.
We have a
Hey, yo.
couple. We have
We have a few, but nowhere's near
yeah.
as many as we have had for the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, a lot of-
Every season's been stacked with isekai for 2 to 3
A lot of
years.
them are just fantasy.
Mhm.
So like they don't get isekai, but
I've been
Yeah.
missing
Yeah.
pure fantasy shows.
yeah,
Like things that take a bit of a stretch from, Adventurers Guild and blah 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 and whatever. They like take that, move it into a different like new setting, new type of fantasy. And we're
Yeah.
seeing a couple of those this season that are pretty good.
yeah.
I got a
What
question
else
for
do we
you.
have here?
I mean, if there's
Yeah.
anyone I trust on the quantity of isekai anime airing in a given anime season, it's Matt. This man has this season, and I'm sure every past season recently, watched more shows than any of us. And this season, still,
Yeah.
he's watched like twice as many shows
The only-
as the next of us.
The only isekai I could see on here is I shall survive using potions, and I mean Shield Hero. I mean like new isekais, so like
Yeah.
potions.
I got a question for you, Matt, or whoever has watched. My daughter's left the nest and returned an
God.
S-rank adventure.
Let's go!
Why do you not like her, the main character, or the lady, or the daughter?
We
Because
like
I've
her.
I
heard
love-
you
we
have
like her.
Yeah, we
grievances
like
about her attitude or her not returning home.
No, it's
It had,
Well,
no,
she
it
gets
had nothing to
prevented-
do with
she gets
her. It
prevented
had
Not with
she
her.
wanted to go home. It had to do with just the circumstances she was dealing with. She couldn't go home, and
So this show-
we were
She loves
pissed
her
off
dad.
because, like, the whole thing, which if we already went over this on Sunday, I'm sorry, you're gonna hear it again. Welcome to the show. Is
you just lost the game.
Adventure Dude. Adventure Dude is walking around in the woods near the village he's living in. He finds a baby in a basket that's been abandoned, and he's like, I'm not leaving no baby in the middle of the woods. Takes the baby home, decides to raise it, trains this girl, this child, how to fight like with a sword and how to fight monsters and whatnot. And she sets off on an adventure by herself because she wants to try and be an adventurer. And he's like, all right, bet, go for it. And 5 years later, she is an S rank adventurer, which in this show is as high as it gets. As far as we know, it's as high as it gets.
Yeah.
And one thing we learn in the first episode is this girl loves her dad. They have been constantly corresponding via mail, via letters over the 5 years since she has been gone. And I don't remember if they have been saying that she's been trying to go home a lot, but recently meaning like from what we've seen in the show so far recently, She has been trying her ass off to go home and see her dad, and shit has just been getting in her way. So I will comfortably speak for Matt as well, have no problem with the main girl. With her name is Angie. No problem with her. Love her. We've just been pissed off at the show because it's like, please let this poor girl go see her dad. Because it's like the whole episode, she's like, she will not shut up about how great her dad is and how much she loves her dad. And then at the end of the episode, she's like, I finally get to go see my dad. Yes. And then like the guildmaster is like, pretty please, there's a big monster. Can you please kill it? You're the only one who can kill it, please. If you leave, the whole town's gonna get burned to the ground and everyone's gonna die. Please.
No.
And she's nice. She is a good person because her father raised her to be a good person. And so she's like, okay, I'll kill a monster. I won't go see my dad, who I haven't seen in 5 years. And so that's why we've had an issue with the show thus far, is we're just like, please, let this poor
let
girl
her
go
be
home.
happy. Just let her be happy. Just let her go see her dad, who misses her. Please. Because they cut over to the dad, who's just like, he's getting letters from her like, hey dad, I'm coming to visit today. And then he'll see like a carriage go by, and the carriage will just like go right by him, and then another carriage comes and it hands him a letter. Sorry dad, something came up. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to come home now. And it's just like, bro, this poor dad. My boy Aka Oni no Belgrieve, who they mention his nickname about 1 billion times.
Damn. So she's getting cock-blocked by the
they
Adventure
love
Guild.
name dropping the dad and whatever his nickname.
Other anime, I think I want to get some spotlights on. Of course, we'll get to Frieren, but I was pleasantly surprised by 2 anime this season. Well, I think I already talked about Shangri-La Frontier, but so another 2. Where was it? It was the 100 Girlfriends That Really, Really Love You. It's actually,
I watched that one.
It was actually a really good first episode, really funny. Was not expecting.
It was very funny.
Yeah, very good. People are saying it's a very good manga. So, and a lot of people are looking forward to it. I looked at it and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be like one of those shows. But it quite literally is the title of the show. There's 100 girlfriends that really that are going to love him, and he has to love all of them at the same time. Otherwise, do you guys want to know the plot twist or not?
It's not really a plot twist. They mentioned it in
the
5
first
minutes.
episode. Okay, if he doesn't love all of them, they will die. So
wait, the ones he doesn't love will die, or they will all die?
Yes.
So pretty much, I'll just go over the premise of the show. So the premise of the show is, so everybody's supposed to have a soulmate, right? Everybody's supposed to have a soulmate in their life. Well, not everybody does, but people have soulmates in their life. And when God was creating this guy's soulmate, and he tells him this, he's just like, yeah. So I was like paying attention to I was like watching a TV show or something, and so I accidentally gave you like 100 soulmates. And then
my man fell asleep on the
Oops.
FT.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Oopsie. Sorry.
and
Oops.
And
All girlfriends.
and he explains to him that
Oopsie.
if you meet your soulmate and somehow things don't work out, the
Don't worry, you got 99 more.
the person who takes the brunt of it is gonna be like the I don't know if they mentioned that it's the girl, but bad things happen if you aren't able to keep the relationship with your soulmate in this world.
He says if it's just in normal circumstances with one person, if you meet your soulmate and you guys don't get together, you both increasingly get worse and worse luck until you both die. That is literally what he says. And he says, now, since I gave you 100 by accident, if you choose one and not and not the others, then the others will get the bad luck and they will die. So then he's like, all right, I gotta love all of them when I meet them. And he knows, and they know when they meet each other, because there's this like tingly feeling you get throughout your body. So literally the first day of high school, he bumps into two of them at the same exact time, and they all get the tingly feeling. Oh boy. So yeah, there's that show, and it's very funny. I love the
It's so
introduction
funny.
of the love god. Now it's implied that there's multiple gods. This is just like the god of love.
Yeah, the guy who fucked up.
Yeah. So I do recommend it. It's not, well, it is exactly as the title says it, but it's more of a comedy than, you know, what it sounds like.
Harem. It's more of a
yeah.
comedy than I mean, it's probably going to be both,
Well,
but
it's definitely
seems
a
to be more
harem. I think it's
comedic
the most harem out
than
of all of them, but it's very comic.
I mean,
Largest
we have
harem
the
that
Eminence in
ever
Shadow.
has.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
a
that's
bigger
true.
harems.
That's true. That's like
Bigger
thousands.
than the 100 girlfriends
like
that
1,000.
really
That's like
love you.
thousands.
There's
a whole
already
organization.
666 that we know of.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And that's like
All
that's
right.
the numbered ones. Anyway, so
The number.
and then the other
It's like they're in a
anime,
marathon.
the other anime that was also like a misnomer is I'm giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued a crash course in naughtiness. Now, this is
Did you
not
watch this?
this is not sex, the anime. This girl is
Never
the
mind, I'm not watching
purest
it.
life form ever. And the guy is like the demon king or whatever. He finds her, but he's like he's that's just his title. It's not his, he's not actually the demon king. And he finds her and he's like, I gotta teach her to be naughty. And what he means by naughty is that you need to enjoy sweets. You need to, you know, punch this punching bag to let your stress out. And so because she was the typical, oh, I'm overworked by my family.
I'll just say it, Dustin. This
yeah.
is a bad title.
Yeah,
This
it's
is a really
well, I'm
this
saying
bad
it's a
title.
misnomer.
This is
really bad
almost
But-
as bad as it's wrong to pick
Yeah.
up girls in a
I
dungeon
know.
level bad.
It's a bad title, but he calls all that shit being naughty. So like when he first says it, like there's another character that's like, "Oh no, are you guys gonna have basically sex?" That he's looking at, and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I like how I see Matt's thing just changed to plan to watch.
Yeah, it is very good. I'm enjoying it. It's so sweet. It's a very
Hey, man,
cute
it's a
show.
friend
guess
recommendation.
I
Yeah.
guess I'll watch it.
Yeah, very cute.
Wait, so Dust, you turned on that first episode thinking it was going to be naughty though.
I was no. So I checked every single one of the anime on the list, and I looked at the synopsis and looked at some of the comments for the first episode, and like one of the first comments was, "It's not what it seems. Watch it." Okay.
Okay, let me tell you all about a show that I absolutely like. The main character of this show made me so mad watching the
So
show.
what?
So what? You kind
Angry.
of
Mad.
Just terribly angry. I was mad. So this show, Tier Moon Empire, I watched it together with Rob.
That sounds so generic. So
Oh,
bro, that's the shortened title.
Mm-hmm.
What?
But yes, Tier Moon Empire is about this princess who is a fucking asshole. I hate this girl. She's the main character. She's awful. Just in every sense, she's just terrible. And she gets executed. But somehow, miraculously, she gets sent back in time for a second chance. But is she thinking about, oh, is it like, so the second chance I'm getting, should I use it to better other people? No, I just don't want to die, so I'll be nice to whoever I can beat him. Just make sure I don't die. It's completely the most self-centered, annoying main character I have ever, like, it's one of the worst I've ever watched. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's one of them. Rob, you can give your opinion too.
She has been very unlikable thus far. I mean, so far we only got like a couple minutes of quote unquote present, like the furthest point in time in this universe before she was killed, and then went back in time to when she was younger before she was presumably hated by everyone and then subsequently revolted against. Um,
Is she as bad as Shield Hero's bitch or slut?
No.
Okay.
No.
okay.
No,
No.
I'm talking about main character.
No.
Yeah, I know, but like-
Bitch is another level. Okay.
Definitely
Alright.
not as bad as her. But like so far, I don't know how to put it. So far, like Matt was saying, like all her motivation since like reincarnating as her younger self back in time basically has just been self-centered. It's not been about being a better person for the sake of other people. It's been about being a better person for the sake of not wanting everyone to hate her and subsequently revolt against her and kill her.
Yeah, I'll just give an example from the first episode of why we feel this way about her. There's a girl who is trying to give her this cake, right? And she drops the cake, right? And she's the princess is very upset. She's about to like yell at this girl for dropping her cake, right? Because there's no more cake. It's the only cake, and she's about to yell at this servant until she realizes, oh, this is the person who talked to me and was really nice to me before I died. And then she's like, for that reason, I'm going to be nice to you and thank you for this. And she's like, she like looks at the other servants and then she's like, y'all need to learn from her example or some dumb shit. And I'm just sitting here like, lady, you were about to yell at this girl until you realized she was nice to you in the past life, and now you're going to be nice to her just because, I don't know, it's all self-centered. It's terrible. I don't like it. I'm done. Okay.
Sounds like Girl Boss the anime.
It's definitely not Girl Boss the anime. I don't think it's like that at all. I think that it's that term does not really fit it at all for me.
Yes, queen.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely understand where Matt's coming from. But I mean, we've only watched one episode so far, and I also feel like it's kind of the point. Like it would be kind of weird if she was, because she is like the first princess, she's royalty, like proper ruling royalty of this country or nation or kingdom or whatever. It would have been kind of weird for her to have been likable.
Well, the reason
because I mean, why are they going to revolt against her and kill her if
I
she
would have
was
thought
likable?
the thing that I was thinking the plot was going to go with this anime is she was in prison for like 3 years, right? So I was thinking that while she was in prison, like regrets start to appear. She starts to think about the people who were nice to her, the people who were not as mean. Like she notices when she reincarnates that there's people that whose lives she ruined in her previous reincarnation for petty reasons, like this cook who who like are just trying to do things for her sake, and she's just very unlikable. But maybe she'll get better. I'll keep watching it for a couple more eps. We'll see. Rob, do you want to take it away with the bad shows this season?
Sure. Let me see if there's any shows I've watched that we haven't covered that I liked. I don't remember if we talked about this on Sunday. I think we did, but once again, I'll say I've enjoyed the first episode of Shy so far. I have not gotten around to watching the second episode yet, and I think a third episode should be coming out this weekend. So by next week, I will be back with a more thorough understanding and review of it. But so far, first ep, I enjoyed it.
Second ep takes a turn.
I don't think we had all watched this before our last time here, but I originally did not plan to watch it until I jumped into a call with these guys the other night and they were watching it. Undead Unluck.
Oh hell
Very
yeah.
good.
Very good first episode. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Going into this season, I was not planning to watch it. Even just seeing trailers and hearing about it, I was not really planning to watch it. I'm like, that does not seem like it's up my alley. But these guys were watching it. I'm like, all right, let me see what's up. I was very pleasantly surprised. I was off base with my original judgments about the series. I really liked the first episode.
Mm,
Bro, I had
Very solid looking adaptation. I can't think of anything I felt like was not done well in the first episode. Other than that, Matt and I have been watching 16-Bit Sensation,
oh, I watched that as
which I
well.
think we did talk about on Sunday. We got to watch the second episode.
Talk about it.
It's not like amazing. It's just an alright show, and I think I still like where it's going so far.
It's
There's
cute.
there's an interesting thing that happens at the end of the second episode that I'm not going to talk about, but it has, I think, sort of like given me a little refresher of my interest in the show. It's given me a bit of a second wind. Like they weren't necessarily losing me, but I think I'm a bit more interested to see the next episode than I would have been had that twist not happened, had that thing not happened, I should say.
I do like the main character's
Um,
design of the show.
I like the character's design as well. And then I don't remember if we talked about it on Sunday. Again, sorry. But two shows I would not recommend you watch. Going off the first episode are Paradox Live the animation and Miggy and Dolly.
I think this is
Miggy
a
and Dolly, coming from the same creator, is from what's it called? That's right, I'm Sakamoto.
yeah. I think you
Or
mentioned
no,
it.
sorry, haven't you heard I'm Sakamoto? I don't know why I cannot remember the title of that show for the life of me. I did enjoy Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto when I watched that however many years ago, but Miggy and Dolly, I don't like it. It's weird.
Yeah. You had a whole rant about it last time.
Yeah,
With the
bro,
whole table scene.
yeah, in the the version of the podcast last week where we had the audio mishap, I went off on the show because I really, really, really didn't like it. I think I read the synopsis before I watched it. If I did, I don't remember. And I just don't understand. Cause in Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto? It's like Sakamoto is he's just like the perfect guy. Like not in a romantic sense, just in like I feel like in like a social sense. Like as you see the perspectives of the people around him, he's just a great person. He's a great community member. He's just like impressive. He's eloquent, he's athletic, he's smart, he's clever, he's, whatever positive attribute you could think to attribute to a person, there's bound to be some moment in the show where he displays that characteristic. And in that series, he gets away with being such a well-rounded, great person. It's the title of the show. Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto? And it's like, that's the explanation for it. And I feel like it didn't really feel like it had to make sense. in that context. It was like, all right, you know, everybody just loves him. He's just a cool dude. He's just a slick motherfucker, and it's fun.
Haven't you heard? It's me,
Yeah.
Sakamoto, bro.
And I think one thing that contributed to that was that the stakes were always reasonable. It was not crazy. It was just like, he's just an exceptional guy in pretty unexceptional circumstances, and so it feels fine. But in Miggy and Dolly, the stakes are weird. They're not. It's not comparable to Sakamoto, because Sakamoto, besides Sakamoto himself, it's a pretty ordinary, like, school anime, slice of life anime type of circumstances. Yeah, haven't you heard? Oh my god, Dave. But in Miggy and Dolly, the premise is that this, like, old childless couple comes to an orphanage and they're looking to adopt a child, and they meet all these kids that are at the orphanage, and they're like, oh my god, they're a very sweet couple, and they're like, oh my goodness, they're all so sweet, they're all so wonderful, I wish we could just take them all home and give them a nice happy home to go to. And I forget who was saying it, probably the lady. And the husband is like, I know, but we're old, we only have so much money, we only have so much time, we have to narrow it down to one. As hard as that is, that's what we agreed on before we came here, was we were just gonna pick one of these kids and take them home and, you know, provide them the best that we can. And as they're leaving the orphanage, the woman's hat flies off her head, and she's like, no, my hat, come back. And this kid, who they did not meet when they were in the orphanage, snags it from like a second floor window, and very, like, Sakamoto-esque, just very slick, very cool. But being younger than Sakamoto, because Sakamoto's like probably like 16 or something, this kid is, I don't know, like 13ish, is just kind of like cheeky, like, I got it, kind of thing. And they're like, oh my goodness, that's so amazing, what a lovely child, saving my hat from being blown away in this crazy weather. And so they're like, wow, how did we miss that kid? That kid was so amazing. And they get in their car and they're talking about it before they leave, and it starts raining, and they look, and now the kid's outside with an umbrella, shielding some, like, stray dog or stray cat from the rain. And they're like, oh my goodness, this kid is just unbelievable. And lo and behold, they go back to the orphanage sometime later with their decision being to bring this kid home. The kid's name is Hitori. But something we find out, which is where the stakes got weird for me and the show stopped being enjoyable and, like, I guess wholesome, was when we find out that Hitori is not one person, it is two people. They're identical twins named Miggy and Dolly. And we find this out because one of them is the kid that these two old people are under the impression that they've adopted. The other one they do not know exists, but is living in the house regardless. Like, snuck in along with, you know, their belongings. And the rest of the first episode is them, the twins, going about the daily lives, or the daily life, I guess I should say, of Hitori, of this supposedly individual child this couple adopted, but it's both of them. And it's really weird. It's weird that it's like, why did you guys have to pretend to be one person? And why are you guys so good at it? Like, it's freaky. It doesn't make sense. Like, there's a scene where the parents and quote unquote Hitori, I don't know which of the two twins it is sitting at the table eating dinner, and the other twin is hiding underneath the table. And as the parents are like distracted in a conversation between themselves, the twin who's sitting at the table has eaten their fill. And so they like do this whole maneuver with the twin under the table where they switch places without anybody noticing so that the twin who had been under the table can eat. And the rest of the first episode is these similar antics. But there's like a scene or two where they're like in their room at night by themselves talking, and the twins just seem like assholes, like malicious, and I don't understand. I do not understand the stakes of the show. I feel like over the years I've realized that's something I care about a lot in a show or in any piece of media is what are the stakes? Do the stakes make sense? Do the stakes feel right? The stakes in this show make no fucking sense at all. And
Well,
it's
it's just like,
super
why,
weird.
right?
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
why?
what it's like. Why? Like normally, you think like super old parents in an anime, you might think like, ooh, they're gonna be mean. No, these people are so fucking sweet. And I don't know why. I don't understand. I don't know if I'm gonna watch another episode because the first episode was really weird, but I kind of want to know just to see something of where it goes. But yeah, I do not recommend it unless you just are morbidly curious. I don't recommend it. I didn't enjoy it. The other one I didn't enjoy, Paradox Live, the animation, stacked voice cast as far as I'm aware, looks like shit. Sounds like
I mean,
shit. The music is
when the main group's name is fucking Bay,
yeah.
you can already hate it.
It
To be
if you're not
honest.
aware, it's an anime about like rap or hip hop where all these different groups are like basically going to compete in a tournament for fame and fortune and whatever. But here's the problem, because I mean it's pretty standard in idol anime to go pretty heavy on CG for your like show concert scenes, which is forgivable, you know. And some of those shows are going to look better and some of them are going to look worse. What's not forgivable, in my opinion, is having a show about music and your music fucking sucks. Like, oh my god. I watched both of these shows I watched on my own, and I watched
You showed me some of that music though.
I watched the first episode of both. Miggy and Dolly was weird. Paradox Live, I hated it. And the worst part is from the get-go, it was on thin ice because they have a song in like the first 2 minutes, not an opening song, just a song performed by the first group we meet, which, as Matt alluded to, they're called Bae, BAE, not some, homophone of that term. No, they're called Bae, as in that term.
Big apple.
And oh my god, it just starts out so bad because they suck so much. They're so not good. It's weirdly excessive amount of English in the music that this band performs. They have one song at the beginning of the episode and one song at the end of the episode, the first episode. But it's just weird because like there's good rap with like the type of music that they use, and there's good rap with the type of cadence that they have. But the cadence they had and the rhythm they had wasn't good. And it's like there's good Japanese rap and hip hop music.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking ain't it. Like, like I don't know who they consulted, if anybody, in the production of this show that has reasonable expertise on, or even just fucking taste, man. Like, did they ask anybody with taste in rap or hip hop music? It doesn't feel like it to me. I
They should just make an Eminem
morbid
anime.
curiosity isn't even a good reason to watch the show. Like, watch it if you hate yourself.
Just-
Watch Mickey and Dolly if you are morbidly curious why that show is so weird. Paradox Live, watch it if you hate yourself.
All right,
If you need to
one
take
more-
yourself down a peg, watch it.
There's one more show I wanted to talk about before we finish this topic, which is a Protocol Rain, which is a very strange show.
Mm-mm.
Very
Yes.
strange show.
No, look
It's
at it.
it's a show about esports,
Oh no.
but the game they're playing is just like PlayStation 1 Valorant. Like, it looks horrible. It
The
looks
graphics, the frame rate, it's like chunky and slow.
Is it like that
It's
scene?
funny though.
It's
There's
rough.
it's really rough to look at, but it's surprisingly just like funny that that's what it looks like.
God damn it, dude.
Like, I don't know why they couldn't have done like better quality for the game itself. Because if this is an esports type of series, then and that esport is going to be the main focus of the series, they should probably make the actual game look better than whatever PlayStation 1 graphics there were.
Yeah, I watched it. I agree with everything that's been said. The game had to look better than it does.
The show
It
would be
really
much
did.
better if the game looked better, but the show, I'm still gonna watch the show. I think
Mhm.
just because I think they have a. I mean, it
The
feels like a
premise is
sports
interesting.
anime. It feels like a sports anime. It's just a sports anime with a really shitty looking sport. But it's I haven't watched a sports anime in a while, so I think I'm gonna give it a watch probably. I'll see how it is going forward.
Why can't you just watch a sports anime?
No,
Mm,
we don't play sports in this group.
Watch
I
Blue
play
Lock.
softball. I actively actively play
Matt
softball.
plays. I was gonna say Matt plays softball.
Yeah, but that's not a
No.
sport.
What?
Huh?
That's not a sport. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Doesn't do sports. That's
What?
not a sport. Okay, dude.
Bro, the only sport I like is underwater basket weaving. That shit's competitive.
Fucking God.
Um,
To be fair, like, I'm looking at the list of anime this season, looking for sports anime.
I don't think there is any.
yeah, I don't think so.
Unless
There-
you want to count Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
No, I don't. I'm more inclined to count Overtake, which is about racing.
I would say
Fair.
racing, probably.
But personally, I don't think racing in a motorized vehicle is a sport. Cope,
What about NASCAR?
I think
not
it's
a sport.
I think it's a sport.
Not a
And I
sport.
also think chess is a sport, so I don't know.
Not a sport.
Okay, so I want to move on to two things. One, Matt, what the fuck? Why did you just follow me now? What's with this shit? First, you're not my Discord friend, and then now you just now follow me.
Bro, I had to look for you. I had
Bro.
to
I
like
provided
look in our
my
previous
link
Discord
multiple
chats.
times in the
Okay,
fucking.
hang
Oh
on.
my fucking.
Let me get.
God.
I mean,
Are
I
there
don't click on
anybody
links
else in
unless
this call that's
absolutely
not
necessary.
following me? At this point, you're not.
Hang on. Let
I'm
me
gonna
get in on
unfollow
this.
And then follow.
Alright, who's turquoise? Is that you guys?
That's me.
Oh my god, Rob! Oh my god. Can you
Don't worry, I've been following for
Thank
like
you, Jax. I know.
forever.
I know. Dave.
Bro, I had to
Oh.
like look back in the Discord chat to
What?
go and find a link to
Fuck,
your
dude.
Twitch.
Man, what
Roasted.
am I? What?
I know your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I subscribe to that. Isn't that good enough?
I mean, if you want the stream to, get big too, I don't know. All I'm saying is once we start like the new channel with, like that's just Degen Z. Once we get that running, eventually,
New channel?
I
Pause.
swear to God,
What's
if you guys,
stopping us from doing that?
I just wanted to get it more popular before we switch over, because then we split up the base a little more. We don't. I don't know.
Fair. Well, look forward to that.
I
Anyone
also
watching?
I want to wait a while before we also move on to Spotify. I think we should just stick to one thing for now, and then we can move.
Why?
Spotify. Look forward to
Um,
that. Anyone watching or listening, because there's not much to see currently.
Yeah, you could see my
What?
face in astonishment right now that you guys haven't followed.
You guys all have great faces for podcasts.
Yeah. Okay, second thing.
Uh,
Big news in the Dragon Ball community, which I am a part of, kind of. I will say I'm not a true Dragon Ball fan. I have not read or watched the original Dragon Ball, but I plan to eventually. But I have watched the original run of Z. I watched all of Kai, so I've watched it basically twice. And then I watched Super and the Super movies, so at least all the canon stuff besides the original.
Is
And
Broly canon?
yes. Well, the
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Super Broly is canon, yes. And,
Okay.
Superhero, I think, is also canon. But yeah, they announced another anime, which the fans have been waiting for since Super ended. And it's not even. I think it's canon. It might not be canon, but it's basically Dragon Ball GT 2. Goku's a fucking kid. Now Vegeta's a kid. Now the cast are kids. They just made total drama babies. What the fuck? This is what we've been waiting for, guys, and it's coming out in fall 2024. But the worst part, it has really good animation from the trailer. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And it seems like instead of focusing on the Kaioshin, the gods, and the Dragon Ball verse, which was basically what like Buu Saga and early Super was kind of about, it looks like they're focusing on the demons, I guess the Makaioshin or something like that. Which has to do with like there was the demon king that they killed in the Buu arc, Deborah. And like Bippity Boppity and Boo were characters that they defeat. I'm not kidding. That's the joke. But I think it's gonna be focusing on that. But they're basically pulling a GT2 because Toriyama is, like the creator of Dragon Ball is a part of this new series. But I think he's just there to give pointers, and I don't think he's actually writing it. He is doing some drawings and stuff. But it seems to be like only a production, like a Toei thing, kind of like how GT was. And GT, the only good thing about GT was Super Saiyan 4. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Still hoping for the Super show, part 2, I guess. But yeah, that's Dragon Ball coming out fall 2024. Dragon Ball Daima. So, yep.
What is
Anything?
Daima?
Daima?
Diamond.
Diamond.
Daima meaning, let's see. It means big or great, or and evil. Okay,
Oh,
big or
makes
great
sense.
evil. Yeah, so I think it has
A
to do with
mountain
the
settlement
demons.
located in Nigeria.
Ah, yes. I love my Dragon Ball. I love Nigerian Dragon Ball.
I'm so confused, but all right. Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah.
Dragon my balls.
Yeah, these nuts in your mouth. Okay. Yeah. So what else? Should we end with the croissant incident, Dave?
The what?
I mean, that's not the thing I was going to talk about on that, but sure. So he's making reference to the D&D campaign that I'm in, that Dustin runs, that he's the DM for. I'm not gonna give too much context for this because, one, that would take a long time, and two, I think it's funnier this way. Long story short, the party that I'm in needs to basically sneak into this large mansion and steal
Different
a
incident.
crystal that's inside and just like make out like bandits. And it's just like a we gotta rob the place without being seen. And it's very important that we're um, not seen, and that's very stealthy and stuff. So me being all stealthy and stuff, not really. Um, my character is basically Ace from One Piece. That's literally his name. So I chose all of my spells and abilities and all that to be like fire based. And what needs to happen, or what we chose, the way to do this is we scouted out the house a couple days beforehand to like see if there was any rotation of the guards and the people that are just stationed at the house, like waiting for us to come, because they're expecting someone to come steal this. It's like their job to just protect the crystal, pretty much. And we came up with this idea that involves the sewers, because when we were scouting the house, we found that through the sewers, there's like an entrance into the house through the sewer system. So what me and my party are doing are, we're going to go like a block away or a couple blocks away, um, and find an entrance uh, to the sewer, which we already found because we scouted out. And then I'm going to basically just like shoot some fire uh, into the sewer. Sewers tend to be filled with noxious gases that are flammable. So you spark that shit and boom, big boom. So the idea is that there's going to be a big boom, and people are going to hear this big boom for like blocks and blocks, and come out of their houses and be very distraught and being like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was just sitting on the toilet and now my ass is on fire. The fuck." And the reason that we would do this is to create a distraction for the guards that would be near the um, house that we need to go into. And we have someone from the government working with us, and they're going to be sort of like our the fall guy. Um, we've implanted into the mind and the psyche of everyone in the town that the reason that these explosions in the sewers keep happening is just because of like bad government keep up. Um, and that's what they think because of stuff we've done in the past.
Yeah,
Um,
stuff being they opened a sewer grate, and the first thing that Ace thought to do was to light fire in his hands while the gases were flowing up, literally
mhm,
blowing up the whole sewer and causing
mhm,
uh people's toilets to fly out of their houses and them to look at the street.
yep.
What if someone was on the toilet when
Fuck
that
'em.
happened?
That
I
It
would
would just
sounds
say
explode away.
their diarrhea was
lit.
very explosive at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
banger.
so the idea is that anytime that these sewer explosions happen, it's because of the government, and that's why. So we have someone in the government working with us, and they're going to be stationed like right in front of the house that we're going to rob. Hi, Rob.
Yes.
Talking to some of the guards about just like stuff. And then when this explosion happens that we're going to trigger, everyone's going to come out of their house, see that there's a government official over there, demand they do something about it, make a commotion. This is obviously going to attract the attention of the guards there too. They'll be distracted, and then it's at this point that we're gonna go infiltrate and try to steal the crystal. And right now in the story, we're just about to do that. We haven't actually done it yet, but we're just about to. Um, and the only reason I wanted to talk about this is just because of the fucking absurdity of it. Like, we just basically blow up people's assholes so that we can distract guards so that we could steal a crystal. And this is all supposed to be done stealthily, which this is very much not. But us sneaking into the house is going to be stealthy, but the distraction isn't.
Yep.
I mean, a diversion doesn't really need to be stealthy as long as
No,
they
it
don't know
doesn't.
you're making it.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
all that matters.
you're running down the street. I'm a diversion. I'm a diversion.
These people's assholes don't matter. Irrelevant.
Look over there, a distraction.
Wait,
Where?
one of my coworkers went up, not coworkers, but basically one of the people at the school came up to me the other day and was like, it says global on the ceiling. And I just look at him and I'm just like, I'm not falling for that. He's like, damn it. Look, there's a distraction on the ceiling.
Yes.
It's like, look, a distraction. Where?
Wait, so if like you're sneaking into the houses,
Yeah.
how are you gonna get the sewers to explode if like?
So they're gonna stand just outside the entrance that they have found.
Yeah, we've already since found an entrance that's close to the house. So
Oh,
so
okay.
we explode the sewers, thereby clearing out the gas so we can actually go in.
and see.
And if for whatever reason, and yeah, because it's dark down here, and if we encounter any motherfuckers down here, I'm freely able to use my fire shit because the gas has been expelled.
Okay, but there's
Um,
motherfuckers that survived your sewer detonation.
Maybe. I don't know what shit Dustin has cooking down there.
Yeah, literally.
He's cooking.
Yeah. But it should be fun. We were actually supposed to execute this operation yesterday and during yesterday's session, but we didn't really have time to
Yeah.
do that
Yeah,
because we had like meetings and stuff.
Yeah, we
at
had
the end of the day.
a very short D&D session. I'm talking 30 minutes. And I literally improvised the whole thing because one of our players just didn't show up. They're in a different time zone, and I think they kind of forgot or they misinterpreted or whatever.
They're on a different plane of existence.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I just completely improvised a dream session where every single time someone died in the dream, they turned into cake. So that was fun.
Okay.
And
As you
then
do.
they ate it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's that. Okay, I think we have time for one more. We have not hit the 2-hour mark yet, so
Easy. In the spirit of things you would like to fit into a time frame, Matt had a topic. I wanted to hit top 3 lists of places you want to go in your life. Matt, if you've already pondered your answer to your own question, feel free to cook. If not, I don't know, I could wing it.
I know 3 places I want to go.
yeah, same here.
Me too.
Yeah. I have an answer for this. I want to go to. If it's 3 places, to be fair with this, it's 3 places you've never been before in your life. So places I want to go is I want to go to Norway. I want to go to Hawaii, and I want to go to Greece. Those are my top 3 right now that I want to go to.
Why?
Yeah, why Greece?
Greasy.
I really like Greek mythology. I just want to go and see the different sites there. I'm not typically a sightseer, but that's like one of the places I'd really like to go and see. And then I want to go like hiking or something in Norway. and like see the fjords and all the crazy stuff that's going on
Gotcha.
up there.
Fjords.
He really likes that Percy Jackson series. He thinks he's a half-blood.
No.
Hey, yo.
I'm something of a half-blood, guys. I want to go to.
I want to go to
But
Gimlin.
and then Hawaii, and I just want to go to Hawaii because it's seems like a nice vacation, to be honest.
It's good, but it's the timing, because, like,
Yeah,
it's like daytime here and then nighttime there, almost.
yeah.
So
I had a
that's
friend
that's
that-
the big thing you have to worry about.
I have a
I've
friend that
had one of
lived in
those trips
Hawaii.
before. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, so what's y'all's top three? Place you want to go?
Mine is Japan. I haven't been there. I plan on doing it within the next year or two. Maybe with my sister or some of you guys, I guess. And then
I guess.
you know, we just
I
gotta figure out a
guess.
time.
I'll settle
To New
for y'all.
Zealand.
Fuck
New
you.
Zealand, because it's very beautiful over there. So I wanted to see that. Yes, Lord of the Rings played a part of that, but I want to go and go hiking over there and see the sights, and then finally probably Italy, because I have relatives that own a bakery in this rural village in the mountains. So I want to go see them, even though I won't be able to communicate because they only know Italian. But I think it would be interesting, and then also to see Florence. Fuck Rome.
Florence is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful cities
Yeah.
I've ever been to.
Fuck Rome. I'll go for like a day. I don't give a
Absolutely
shit.
incredible.
I'll go to Florence probably for longer. And my parents tell me that Florence is much better anyway, and the food is better than Rome. Rome's kind of like
Why
the
don't
shit.
you like Rome?
how often
Oh,
do you think
Rome-
about the
I'll
Roman
just say it.
Empire?
Rome is not that great.
Yeah, it's like the
Right.
weakest city apparently when it comes to
Rested.
food and
Naples was not what I expected to. But they were both the rest of the trip was better than those two cities.
yeah.
My dad almost got pickpocketed in Rome. That was fun.
Average Passion gang member.
Damn it.
Man's gonna get
Ah,
pickpocketed by Giorno.
Everything is a JoJo reference.
Alright, 3 places I want to go. I want to go to Switzerland, and then South Korea, and then Canada.
Go to Montreal's cool.
Why Canada?
Well, so I don't know why, but like just when I was younger, I was like, I want to go to Canada, and that's just been a thing. It's like,
We're technically, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's far away, but we're near.
yeah, but that's just one of the places, and then Switzerland, just because chocolate,
Oh
and
yeah.
then
No, this isn't Hershey's, bitch. We're going to
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Jesus Christ.
I've been in Canada for 2 hours in my lifetime, and there's one thing I remember that I did in Canada, and I don't think I'll ever forget watching this in Canada. It was the episode of Shield Hero where he gets where the revenge happens. I remember watching that in Canada. That's my only memory
Wow.
Brother.
Me watching Japanese media. In
there. I was in an
Canada.
airport in Canada for 2 hours, and that's all I remember.
yeah,
in Canada. He's not even just in Canada. He's in an airport.
I will say,
Yep.
Montreal, beautiful city, but fuck the construction there. And apparently, there's a joke that a Montreal citizen told me the other day, that they
the other
literally,
day.
like literally Thursday, so yesterday actually, they told me that it's a running joke that it's a construction day, and the traffic is gonna be absolutely horrible, because we had to take, when I went to Montreal, the most fucking detours I've ever taken in my life, and I've been to New York City, so it was pretty bad.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Beautiful town though.
Okay.
Dave, you want to
yeah,
cook?
Yep, sure. I would want to also go to Japan with you guys, I guess.
I mean, when's
we're
that
already
happen?
planning that trip, brother.
Yeah,
We're already
yeah,
planning that.
Yeah.
that's already happening. So that was a very sarcastic, I guess. We're going to Japan someday, someday, and I would also want to go to the Philippines because family. Never been there. So I said Japan, Philippines. What else was it? And oh fuck, I think it was. Like the United Kingdom, just in general, not like a certain country in there, but just like that whole area. Just because I don't know, I like Britishness, not the food necessarily, but just all the
Necessarily not the food.
you don't like
necessarily
beans?
not the food. No, beans on toast. No, thank you.
Oh, that sounds interesting. To
Don't
me.
like blood pudding.
You don't
That's
like
disgusting.
Tasty.
don't like the plum pudding model of the atom.
Hmm. Oh,
If
charge.
anyone
Negative
remembers
charge.
chemistry. Yeah.
In physics teacher.
No, that's chemistry, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's literally the topic we're on right now, too.
Fucking Charles Plum. No, I don't know his actual name.
What's a plum?
What's a plum?
Oh my god. Oh no, that is in reference to one of our other friends. There's a clip from my Twitch channel where he we were talking. I don't know why we were talking about plums, but we were, and our friend didn't know what a plum was. And Rob, what was it? He said like, "Yeah, I know what a plum is. I had one yesterday or
Yeah.
something."
So
Yeah.
so for like the clip is like 50 seconds long or something, and for like the first like 20 seconds, it's him being like, "What's a plum?" And we're like, "Huh? What? You don't know what a plum is?" And he's like, "No, what's a plum?" And we're like, this is a prank. You're fucking with us. You're absolutely fucking with us. And one of us, probably, I don't know, me or Dave, went to pull up a picture of a plum because it's like, you're an adult. How do you not know what a plum is? Like, what? Like, okay, you've never eaten a plum, that's fine. How do you not know what a plum is? How do you not, like, at least have an idea, a ballpark guess of what a plum is? And so we sent him a picture of a plum, and he looks at it and he goes, "Oh yeah, I had one of them last week." And we're just flabbergasted. We're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Man just goes around finding
My
random
man
fucking
spent
food on the ground.
20 or
and eats
30
it.
seconds being like, "I don't know what a plum is." And like,
Don't they look like avocados?
What?
I'm gonna die.
No.
Oh my god.
Okay, now you're gaslighting me.
Part
That's not.
two.
That's
Part 2.
Yeah.
okay.
what is a
Good.
plum
My
part
idea was
two? The
correct.
Oh no, I'm
sequel?
thinking of eggplants. Sorry.
No,
That's not better.
they look like apples, but with
That's
asses.
worse.
They're apples with
Yeah, in my
asses.
mind, I was thinking
Okay,
of
I
eggplants
understand, but
though.
that makes
Okay.
they're like the same color, I guess. What the
Yeah,
I
fuck?
think I've only eaten a plum once. I don't remember liking it.
Fuck? Anyway, yeah, what's a plum? Guy had a plum literally a week prior and then spent 30 seconds being like, "What's a plum?"
Oh, so the peaches.
Like, brother, you literally ate one a week ago. You don't know what it is.
I mean, you can eat stuff
Are
and
they
not know the name
fuzzy?
of the food. But yeah, it's fucking
Okay,
weird.
but like, that's just such an ordinary thing. Like, it would be one thing if it was like a very obscure food.
I don't think I've ever had a plum before.
I've never had a plum either. Do I know what a plum is? Yes. There's
I
plenty of
apparently
things
don't.
that I've never eaten
Have you
that
had
I still know
starfruit?
what they are. I may not even know what they look like, but if you're talking about it and you mention it, I'd still be able to like, oh yeah, it's such and such a thing.
Have you had starfruit?
No.
Okay.
But like to have literally eaten it a week prior and such a like commonly mentioned thing as a plum.
I would. I don't think plums are mentioned that often, to be honest. I don't know.
I feel like
I
they're
don't think
they're
they're
mentioned more in
common.
the context of the color than the fruit.
I didn't know what
Even-
color they were.
even
I thought they were
then-
peaches.
Even then, when I thought
I'm
of
gonna have a
plum for
str-
some reason, I thought it was more orange, but I was thinking that the inside was on the outside and the outside
You
was
guys
on
are
the
making
inside.
my brain rot.
I'm
I
just gonna
don't
say-
even
Rob,
eat.
where would you like to go in this world?
Plum farm, where they're all
See,
plum-
that's the
that's where
problem.
this
We got so
started.
Yeah.
sidetracked talking about plums. I didn't have time to think because I was gonna say I've still only managed to think of one place. Because I'm not a very travel-minded person. I
Mm,
guess it would be two places. One of them being Japan with these four stooges, or however many other stooges we plan to bring along with us.
Maybe. Probably.
To Japan. I don't know if I just said Japan or not. Again, my brain is rotting from this plum conversation.
the plum incident.
The place I really want to go, for my own motivations is Taiwan. I just really want to go to Taiwan. Partially, whenever I do manage to get there, I can see how much of my 5 years worth of studying Chinese I can dig out of the recesses of my mind. Partially, you know, it's a pretty country. There's some scenic landscapes and things to look at. I'm lying. I don't care about scenic landscapes. I want tattoos. Like I really love tattoos, and three of my favorite artists that I have found so far, out of probably somewhere between 1 and 200 artists that I follow, three of my favorites operate in Taiwan. And fortunately, Taiwan is a pretty small country. I was also looking more closely at it recently. I think two of them are in Taipei, the capital, and I think one is like, let me see. Yeah, so two of them are like more in Taipei, and one of them is in Taoyuan, which is like another like city or region near Taipei. And like by near, I mean, I don't know, like an hour drive or an hour on like a train or something. So it would be feasible that if I could get appointments or like schedule with all three of these artists on a single trip, I could easily go and get 3 tattoos from these 3 artists that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, they would be like one session tattoos, though, like not like multiple session ones.
Probably, but I mean, if I'm going to Taiwan to get tattooed by these people, I will sit for as long as humanly possible. I hope to get a couple more tattoos before I do that, because so far I only have one. Probably sounds corny that I'm like, oh, I love tattoos, and I only have one tattoo so far.
It was on my phone.
But I'm also just a very indecisive person. And
I think
honestly,
being indecisive about tattoos, it's a good thing.
honestly, it's also just that I haven't found enough artists near me that I like enough. I think there's one that I'm looking at that I'm thinking about that's close by, Um, but I talked to my brother because my brother has a ton of tattoos. And so I respect his opinion. Not necessarily his taste. I don't have we don't have to agree on taste.
He's
More
shitting.
so just on like his expertise on like the quality of the work. And I really like how it looks, but he thinks that it would not hold up very well to the test of time, which is something I think is important to consider with tattoos. And the style of tattoo that you're going to get is how well is this tattoo going to hold up? Because personally, I don't love the idea of touch-ups. Like, if you choose to get tattoos that need touch-ups and you know that and you're cool with that, live your life. I personally don't love that. Like, I would like my tattoos to just like age smoothly. Like, I know the tattoos I have now are not going to look the same in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, obviously, but I'd like them to hold up okay. You know, I like them to look coherent comparatively. I like to be able to look at the tattoo now and in however many years and still have it look good. Obviously it's not going to look as good as it does, within like the first year that you have it. But it can still look good. It can also look really bad comparatively. And to a degree, it comes down to the artist's own abilities and how well they can tattoo, regardless of what the style of tattoo is, and in terms of the colors and the shading and the darkness of the tattoo, how well it holds up. But style is another big factor because some styles are just going to hold up better by nature of how they look. There's a saying that says bold will hold, and it is applied a lot to like American traditional style tattoos, because American traditional style tattoos, like two of the key things are really bold, bright colors, really heavy coloring, and very dark, bold black line work. And you compare that to like a watercolor style tattoo, which has much softer lines and less intense like color packing, because you're recreating that watercolor effect. You want it to be light and you want it to kind of fade from one part of the tattoo to another, or from one area of color to another. It's not going to hold up as well as something that's just a really heavily packed color with a really dark black outlining. So yeah, I don't know. I want more. I love those artists.
Does it hurt more getting piercings or getting tattoos?
I mean, it definitely hurts more getting tattoos.
'Cause that's like a constant, like you're getting pricked constantly
I
versus
guess.
one
Yeah,
like one hole that's getting put in your fucking earlobe or whatever. So
yeah. I mean, I've got 6 piercings so far. I've got 5 earrings, and just got my nose pierced last month. Uh, the nose piercing so far, the worst out of the piercings, but the tattoo was definitely worse. It was definitely more painful. I mean, it was like 2.5 hours, but like it came
Gotcha.
and it went. There were parts that were better and parts that were worse. There were parts where it really felt like someone was like basically like carving a line in my leg with a knife.
Mm.
And then there was a part that I explicitly remember where I literally almost fell asleep.
Ah, okay.
Which, like, I've heard of people falling asleep during tattoos. I assumed that was people with really high pain tolerances that had gotten a lot of tattoos already, and they were getting it in a less painful spot. My only tattoo is my first tattoo, and there was like a 10-minute period where I was dozing, and I like cleared up, and I'm like, so I've fallen asleep getting tattooed. What the fuck?
Huh. Okay.
But yeah, all that to say, very fun rant. Well, not really rant, very fun tangent. I love tattoos. I want to get some more before I go to Taiwan and get binge tattooed by these 3 artists. I love them. If we had time, I would plug them. One of them does do anime style. I will plug them. Giant Lee 6 on Instagram does anime style tattooing predominantly. Phenomenal work, awesome stuff. Does anime style as well as like manga style, like will tattoo like black and gray panel type shit.
You go up to him, you're like, "Hey, can you tattoo this berserk panel for me?"
Bro, no, he's tattooed Berserk 100%. Has
Like the
tattooed
super
Berserk.
complicated one, a bunch of detail.
Nah, you can look it up.
Yeah.
Anyone watching, you can look it up. It is some good shit.
That would be
I
like the
love
final
Giant
boss.
Lee slaps. But honestly, hardest one out of the 3 for me to pick because, bro, mangaka are such controversial motherfuckers. Like you're like, oh, I love this manga. This manga is so great. Da 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 da. It's the best. And then you find out 10 years down the line, it's like they're a sexual predator. Great, awesome. Well, that kind of makes things awkward for me. And so I'm like, I don't know if I got to get tattooed by this guy, I'm like, I don't even know what I would ask you to do. Cause I almost feel like I want to pick something made by somebody who's fucking dead. That way they can their mistakes can only be ones from the past. I don't have to worry about potential future mistakes from this person.
Yeah.
You can, you could always just go kill them yourself and then get the tattoo. So
Forehead. That's a big brain. That's the strategy. All right. I don't really have a third place I want to go to that much. I guess I don't know, France. There's like 2 tattoo artists that I really fuck with that are located in France. Other than that, fuck France. I took French for like 2 years in high school. It's whatever. It's easy. Yeah, I don't know.
You just insulted
I'm
a bunch of
not a
people.
very travel minded person.
French are like, oh,
I'm
you said our
not super interested in traveling. I don't really care to travel the world.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't really need to go see all these places. Like, there's plenty of beautiful places I could go see, sure, but it's like, all right, I saw them. Now, it's like, what about it? Like,
I think once, and I don't think it might not ever happen, but I think once full dive VR becomes like a big thing, I think fucking tourism rates are gonna drop for a certain
When is
demographic.
that gonna happen?
What?
When is it gonna happen? Waiting for it.
Yeah, we've already passed Sword Art Online's launch date.
Yeah.
Over a year ago.
yeah,
now,
all right. Here's a picture. This is somewhere that I think is a very, I guess, stunning place that I went to. I went to Malaysia this past summer.
Dude, that image is so
and
small.
I will tell you that statue. I think it is. Let me see. see, because I don't want to be talking about this statue and it be not who I'm thinking of. All right, so this statue is a god of victory and war.
Teeny.
And it is the largest such statue. 140 feet tall. The second tallest such statue in the world. And those stairs are huge. Like you may not be able to tell from that picture. There's like 200 or 300 of those colorful stairs that you can see, and they are uneven, steep as fuck, really pretty from far away. Brutal climb up those stairs to this massive like open cave with a temple
I can see
in it.
Yeah.
I just sent a picture of that. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not like it was unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, it was cool, you know. I'm not gonna say like, oh, it was such a waste of time going and seeing this place. It was cool. Do I feel like I want to go around the world and do more of that and see places like that I'm like, wow, I've never seen anything like this? No, not really. If I get to see such places, cool. If I don't, all right, I will live. When it comes to travel, I am more interested in tattoos than anything else.
You all ever been to the Grand Canyon or Montana?
Nope.
Yep.
Okay, well that was the one place I was like, holy shit. And then Montana, just like driving around. Well, you don't get the depth perception from just images. Like you have to go to see Grand Canyon. You're like, oh, yeah, that will kill you. Like
me and my fear of heights do not have to see.
Yeah.
I will
I have a
take
fear
everybody's word for it.
I have a fear of heights, and I still went because I was, interested.
Nah.
Well, you have a big enough walkway that you're not gonna fall off unless
I
you're
don't care.
an idiot like some tourists are climbing a rock that says literally "do not climb," and taking a selfie almost over the edge. Fucking idiots! I swear to God. Anyway, but yeah, Montana also beautiful mountains. Just driving through there and seeing like the fields and the mountains was also very beautiful. And I stayed at a motel for one night, and waking up and seeing that and the dew and everything was really beautiful. So even in America, and especially you, Rob, since you're the closest to that, I would go see it.
No.
All right. Well,
Pick somewhere else.
fuck you. All right.
Vetoed.
All right. How about the bathroom so you can get the shit out of your ass?
Should have said a stick.
Got him.
You know, a stick up your ass. That would have been the logical thing to say.
Yeah, but that's not.
But I don't think you're gonna pull the fear of heights out of my ass because, no.
Rob, the type of person not to get over his fears. Damn.
We're gonna go skydiving.
Bro, I went rock climbing with some of our friends, and I climbed up like a 60-foot wall. Like,
What about
I-
bungee jumping?
I don't want to hear it. Bungee, no.
Okay.
Vetoed.
Yeah.
Skydiving vetoed. I would sooner let someone break all of my fingers.
Now I want one of those videos of Rob getting into like one of those like orb rides at like amusement parks that like launch you in a slingshot or whatever.
Nope. Again, you could break my
Yeah,
fingers.
no, I wouldn't do that one.
No, I wouldn't do it either.
You could break my fingers first.
It would be funny though. I mean, I do it with him, but I don't think I did that.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I've never broken a bone. I am confident.
Me
I would
either.
rather someone break all my fingers.
I have twisted my ankle completely 180 degrees, but I have not broken a bone.
I feel like that's got to be a high number of points for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. to turn that shit 180 degrees.
Yeah, I was in a swing, like a wooden bench swing. I had one behind my house, and there was a wooden thing kind of sticking out, so it was like screwed in, so it could hold the actual bench swing together. And my foot got caught on it, and it twisted it. And it was during my sister's birthday. It hurt so much. It hurt so much. And meanwhile, this thing is at the bottom of a fucking hill. So my house was on top of this hill. This thing was at the bottom. It hurt so much for about like a minute. But I was like, all right, I don't want to make a scene, but I still kind of made a scene because I literally hopped on one foot up this hill into my house while everyone was there, and just told my mom, hey, I think I hurt myself. I'm just gonna lay in my bed until everyone leaves, and then let's go to the doctor. And she's like, okay. So I just jumped into my bed, or hopped into my bed, and just laid there for like an hour and a half. Everyone left, and then we went to the doctors, and they're like, yeah, you twisted that shit.
You crank that soldier boy.
Yeah. And so I was in like a foot, like a boot.
Twist it.
Bop
Fuck
it.
it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. What?
Yeah. All right. I think we are about done with time here. So, who's doing it? Rob, I think you're gonna end this off. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's me. Thank you for sticking with us through this episode and through our recent audio issues. Hopefully we will not be running into any of those in the future.
They got new mics, guys.
Some of us did get new mics.
We
I
did
am
get new
I am
mics.
some of us. Matt is
I am
also some of us.
as well.
So there might still be a little bit
Um,
of issues, but you know, they literally just got their new mics like what, today and yesterday. But I don't think as bad as
Wednesday.
it was. Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us, or thank you for coming back if this is not your first time with us. And either way, let me see. Yeah, I'm still Rob.
I am Dustin.
I'm Jackson.
He remembered.
Yes, I.
I am Dave.
And I'm Matt.
I'll see you
Have
next
a
week.
great weekend.
Good weekend.
Have a good week.
Bye.
We'll see y'all next week.
And watch the new anime. Alright. Oh, we forgot to talk about Fearin'. Fuck! Oh, whatever.
Oh, we mentioned it.
Yeah, 28 episodes, no split. Basically, that hasn't happened in a while. Yeah, okay. Very surprising. I think they're gonna do the whole manga. Alright, that's it.